I was really struck by the Lord's greeting in Paul's vision that we just heard in our reading from Acts. The Lord says, "Do not be afraid." Jesus was well aware of the various fears that all of us confront as human beings throughout our lives. Fear can often blind us from seeing what is really happening. It's the path to the dark side, so dark we can't even see. Fear then leads to anger, which in turn leads to hate. We hate because we fear. I mean, look at it this way. We don't like monsters, right? But when we see only the faces of monsters, our level of hate or hatred escalates. And then we quickly develop the courage to destroy each other or one another. You might remember a few years ago, a white woman named Jennifer Schulte, dubbed Barbecue Becky. Remember that? Remember her? Barbecue Becky? She called the cops on a black family who was simply barbecuing at a designated grilling zone in a park in Oakland, California. She complains hysterically that they're using charcoal. She screams, among other things, to the 911 dispatcher, "I'm really scared. You gotta come quick." If there's anyone threatening, it's her and not the black family. Or how about that one incident at a Philadelphia Starbucks where a white store manager called the police because two young black men were just sitting there. They had yet to order because they were waiting for a friend to arrive. But the cops were called, and these two men were taken away in handcuffs. Fear plays a big part in these and similar incidents. I can go on with so many different examples, and sadly, in many cases, they end in tragedy. The truth is, we fear what we do not know. If we don't live or work or pray together, it's really hard to see each other as the children of God that we are. And this separation perpetuates fear and distrust and hatred. When we don't know each other or see our commonalities, it's really hard to move forward. And the behavior and fear of Barbecue Becky and the Starbucks manager are a legacy of racism, a legacy that continues to cause damage not only in our country, but in us as people of God. And unless you are a person of color, it can be difficult to have a firm grasp of the sufferings of those victimized by racism. And when we deny its mean-spirited sinfulness, then we become blind to the reality of the pain and the torment inflicted upon our neighbors. And in today's toxic political climate, more than ever, we must strive to combat the sins of racism, of bigotry, and of injustice, especially where they might exist in our Christian communities. It's why, by the way, we need to be careful that we don't fall prey to this awful Christian nationalism movement that's happening, which is divisive, it's evil, it's heretical, it's fascist, it is anti-Catholic, and it goes against the very core values of Christianity. Christian nationalism does nothing but mask itself in the cloak of Christianity, but it is very evil at the very core. We instead need to work on seeing Christ in the faces of our brothers and sisters who might be different from us, and not being afraid to embrace them despite the color of their skin, the faith to which they adhere, their physical disability, their economic status, their sexual orientation or gender, or their social backgrounds. Every individual is beautiful in their unique way, especially in the eyes of God. In the end, my friends, we all bleed the same color.
thank you for joining us for the celebration of the Mass today. It's a blessing that you are with us. Every broadcast of this liturgy goes out to hundreds of people and hundreds of people all over the world. It's been an enormous blessing. If you'd like to support this virtual ministry of OLPH, please go to our website. You can support this ministry by going to Give Central so that we can continue to broadcast the liturgy each and every week. Thank you for your support. Most of all, thank you for joining us today. God bless you. Greetings from OLPH.